be exactly who you are, wherever you are. That is the practice of meditation. That's a quote from Broken Open. It's a book written by Elizabeth Lesser. My name is Jennifer Gruba, and I'm going to talk to you today about meditation, sort of a meditation 101, if you will. I'm a yoga and meditation instructor. I teach public yoga classes at Live True Yoga. I also teach privately. I teach corporate classes, and then I have my own company, Blue Lotus Yoga Retreats, where I guide yoga retreats and yoga and meditation in beautiful places all over the world. So that's who I am. And when we talk about meditation, we need to talk about yoga. So I'll gloss over that real quickly. Meditation is a form of yoga. There are 8 limbs of yoga. All of that is well beyond the scope of this little introductory video, if you will. But meditation is one aspect of yoga, and then the physical part of yoga, so doing a downward facing dog or taking the vinyasa yoga class, for example, that is the physical aspect or form of yoga known as asana. So if we're going to talk about meditation, we also should quickly talk about what yoga is. And the word yoga itself means to unite. To unite body, mind, and heart, or soul, or spirit. Lots of different words to kind of capture the same thing. Yoga is not a religion, so therefore meditation does not have to be a religious or even a spiritual practice, but it certainly can be, and it is for some people. Yoga, more importantly, is a framework for spiritual growth and mastery over the physical and mental body. So again, yoga helps us with those things. So I think it's really necessary and important to point out that you don't need to surrender your current religious or spiritual beliefs to practice yoga, whether it's the physical type of yoga or a meditation practice or both. So now, more than ever, during this pandemic, we're all experiencing together. Lots of us are experiencing uncomfortable things. Maybe we're stir crazy, being stuck inside the house with our families. Maybe we're worried about our financial health and we've lost our jobs. Maybe we're worried about the health of loved ones. So we're all experiencing a lot collectively right now. And so it's even more important to remain not just physically healthy, obviously go outside, take walks, do things like that, but to maintain your mental and emotional health. So even if you are taking those walks, you've got a great gym in your basement, you're going on your treadmill, up here, you still might be very restless. And that's okay. That's, I would say, a somewhat normal reaction to what we're all experiencing together. So point being that, again, this is a perfect time to start a meditation practice, and it doesn't have to be difficult. In fact, it should be very simple. My meditation teacher actually taught me to keep it as simple as possible. So you don't want to necessarily involve all these rituals, like you must light a candle first, you have to sit on a specific cushion, it has to be a specific time of day. All other variables have to fall into place, like the kids are sleeping and everything else is done. Oftentimes there's not going to be a perfect opportunity or a perfect place to meditate, but we can still meditate. So find a quiet place. It could be in your car. It could be on a park bench. It could be on your bedroom floor. Throw down one of your pillows and sit on that. It could be in a chair. So the time and the place do not need to be perfect. So we shouldn't get attached to that when we think about trying to grow or deepen or establish even a meditation practice. So that being said, we're going to begin to meditate together. So I invite you to move around in your seat a little bit and get comfortable. If you're on a chair, really make sure you can bring your feet to the ground so they're nice and flat, you feel supported. Otherwise, if you have a meditation cushion, great. Obviously you can use that, but it's not necessarily. In the past, I have put down a throw pillow from my couch, or even a pillow from my bed, and I've sat on that to meditate. So once you find yourself in a comfortable seated position, you're going to bring those shoulders up near your ears and then roll them down the back. Doing what feels comfortable with the hands. You can rest them face down in your lap. Some people find this to be very grounding and calming. Or if you want your hands, your palms face up in your lap, that's energizing for some folks. A very simple meditation posture to take with your hands, if you'd like to try it, is to sort of cup your hands, put the right hand on top of the left, nest them, if you will, and then draw the thumbs together. Then draw that down to your lap and draw the elbows in so you feel nice and supported. There shouldn't be a lot of physical effort happening right now. And then sit back. Lengthen from the base of your spine through the crown of your head. Allow the tongue to rest behind the bottom teeth. Perhaps you close your eyes or find a soft gaze. Create space between the back teeth to find ease in the jaw. Then soften between your eyebrows. Beginning to turn your attention inward towards your breath, allowing your attention to rest on and follow the breath. It's natural and normal for you to eventually become distracted, for a thought to arise, for an emotion to arise. I am agitated. I'm bored. How long will this take? How long will I have to keep social distancing? How long will I be out of work? Maybe you'll become distracted by a physical sensation. My foot's falling asleep. Maybe you need to scratch your chin. You can scratch your chin. You don't have to be still as a statue. But this is where the practice comes in, folks. All those things will happen and they're all very natural. And instead of judging them as good or bad, we don't become attached to them. Rather, we notice. That's the mindfulness part. We notice that, and then we turn our attention back to the breath again. And we do that each and every time. Not trying to achieve anything specific. Not trying to shut off the brain. That will not happen. Again, turning our attention inward. Eventually, the breath will slow down, allowing it to take a little bit longer to draw air in, allowing it to take a little bit longer to exhale. If your sinuses allow, you don't have a cold, I suggest breathing in and out through the nose. When you inhale, pulling the air all the way down to the bottom of the lungs, but keeping the breath slow and soft. It's just a little more intentional now than it typically is. Eventually, gradually, coming out of our meditation. Maybe you slowly blink your eyes open, but please don't be quick to move or to do anything in particular. Coming out of meditation should be something like waking up from a nap. You allow yourself to do so slowly. Not judging the meditation as good or bad. That was a really bad one because my mind was so busy. It just is. You've just done something really good for your mental, emotional, and maybe even spiritual well-being. There are many different types of meditations. I encourage you to do some research on your own. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It depends on what you need. Some meditations are very calming. They're good to help induce sleep, reduce anxiety, but there's some meditations that are very energizing and would not be appropriate to do, for example, before bed. So do some research. I'll continue to offer different types of meditations for you in this way. And then also, you can also do your own research regarding the benefits of meditation. So even though meditation is a yogic practice, there's lots of science supporting the benefits of meditation. Highly regarded places such as Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic have done their own research, for example, on the benefits of meditation. One being is that it helps us to have a longer attention span. With so much information being thrown at us to process and so much stimulation, our attention spans as a culture and as individuals, it's becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. We want that constant stimulation. Our brains are used to that. So meditation helps us to have a longer and a better attention span. Helps to slow our heart rates down and to trigger the parasympathetic nervous system to induce feelings of calm, well-being. Helps to make us more efficient when we do work and do need to get things done. So those are just a few of the benefits. Like I said, you can research more about it on your own. I thank you for sharing these few minutes with me. I'd like to share a poem with you before I sign off regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. It's called Pandemic by Lynn Ungar. And I don't want to by any means downplay the difficulties that we're all facing. Some of us are suffering more than others due to this pandemic. But I feel this poem just offers a different perspective of it without necessarily romanticizing it. So feel free to close your eyes and listen to this poem. Again, Pandemic by Lynn Ungar. What if you thought of it as the Jews consider the Sabbath, the most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, Give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing and pray. Touch only those to whom you commit your life. Center down. And when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You can hardly deny it now. Know that our lives are in one another's hands. Surely that has become clear. Do not reach out your hands. Reach out your heart. Reach out your words. Reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we all shall live. So that is the poem Pandemic by Lynn Ungar. I shared it again because it really offered a different perspective, and it reminded me of a quote by a yogi, Iyengar, and I'm paraphrasing, but he says something to the effect of, yoga teaches us to endure that which cannot be cured. So right now, meditation is a really easy, even though simple, even though it can be difficult at times, way to help us endure what we're all facing now, to endure that which cannot be cured, at least not yet. So I want to thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Jennifer Gruba. The light that's in me honors the light that's in all of you. Thank you for your time. Namaste.